Welcome to Rosa's journey. This will be a 5-part story of a wild burro who tested my patience and reminded me how important it is to trust my instincts. In this first part, I'll show you the early moments when I realized Rosa might be willing to get aggressive. Every wild burro is different. Some take a few weeks to gentle, others take months. Rosa reminded me that even when you're doing things right, it still takes as long as it takes. In this 5-part series, you're going to see Rosa's graduation day. We'll go through her checklist: brushing, haltering, leading, picking up her feet, and loading into the trailer. And we'll talk about what made her journey unique.
Good girl. Good girl.
This is Rosa, a wild burro who wanted nothing to do with me at first. Now she lets me brush her, halter her, pick up her feet, and load into the trailer, all without a fight. She is not perfect, but she is willing. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how we got here. When Rosa first got here, she had spirit, but she had an extreme amount of caution. She was always over in the corner, and her and the rest of the donkeys, she would just hide behind them. Wherever they went,
Velcro.
she would move with them like a school of minnows. There was no getting her separated without using a flag, because she always wanted to be right next to Pine or any other animals there that she felt would help protect her. She would get brave enough to eat hay through the fence, and sometimes even if we were in the pen with her. But it was really fun to watch as her shell started to come down around her. She would start to really stick her head through the fence when it wasn't her turn to be trained or gentled. And when she was having her soak time, she really likes to play with her tongue. She didn't know what a halter was and trusted very little. But over time, with connection followed by cooperation, she began to change. Because with wild burros, it always takes the time that it takes. So now I've gentled about 30 wild donkeys, guys, and she's the first one that made me feel a little bit nervous that I was going to get hurt. She acted a little bit aggressive. Now, after doing so many different wild donkeys, I start to think I'm going to have this black and white system to show you on how the best way to gentle a wild donkey. But what she has shown me is they each need their own way. We can have a little bit of general ideas of what to do, but sometimes we need to adjust. So there's not just like a concrete, this works and that doesn't work. And with Rosa, I had to adjust to meet her needs. Instead of taking the hay from our hand, she would just take it from another donkey. Now, we did keep working on getting her to eat from her hand, and we were getting her to do this. However, she was still super hesitant. So I thought to myself, boy, what I did with Squirrel worked so well with him. So we got her eating from our hand, and even with oats, and we increased it to 10 bites per minute, which is my normal black and white go-to. So we got that accomplished, and I thought, boy, I'm just going to do everything with her just like I did with Squirrel, because he is the 21-year-old wild burro who took 7 weeks before he got brave enough to eat from my hand. Right now is 10 bites per minute.
Look at your timer.
Okay, it's going. We're at 8 seconds. 9. Okay, so 10 seconds.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You did it in 29 seconds. So she graduated this milestone with flying colors. And I thought, well, I'm just going to keep on going away with target training her nose and her head just like I did with Squirrel. Now, Squirrel, he would come and touch my hand on accident with his head, and then he started to love the scratches. It worked super amazing with Squirrel. So here I'm trying to do the same thing with Rosa. And because Squirrel's already comfortable with this, why not have him with? But as you can see here, as I'm doing this, I wasn't quite sure what to make of what was happening. She was acting maybe aggressive, maybe just confused or frustrated because she wanted more oats. So while I was doing this stage and starting to notice these behaviors that she's showing you right now, I thought, well, maybe I just need to give her more food. So when I would give her, when she would get the answer correct, then I would try giving her even more, even just giant handfuls of her pay. And I thought, okay, maybe this will work. So I would go and I would work with her. I would feel uncomfortable about how things were going. Then I would, of course, I'm recording everything for you guys, right? So I would bring it up and I would show Dan or Hannah, and they weren't really too concerned about it. But I was feeling really uncomfortable. And this is where I want to tell you guys to trust your gut.
She's afraid, but she also acts bossy.
Nothing ever happened, but I wasn't setting her and I up for success. So after session, trying to find ways to get her to be able to say yes without being nervous and without thinking that the answer might be aggression, I decided to change my ways again. But because it worked so well with Squirrel, I wasn't ready to give up just yet, and I wasn't completely trusting that what I was getting from her was aggression.
I'm still not sure if that's aggression or frustration, but I'm not going to pay it when it's like that. So we'll keep at this for a little bit longer, but we might change up how we're doing it. I definitely don't want to get bit. This is interesting. Like I did the same thing with the 21-year-old Squirrel, and he never got pushy like this doing this. And because whether you want to call it pushy or frustrated or even aggressive, I'm not quite sure what it is, but we might need to change things up. So I'm sending her away because she actually pushed on me.
But then one day, Dan switched and he was working with her, and he was like, oh my. So now I have confirmation from somebody else that what she's doing feels weird, feels like it could become dangerous. So I decided to work on teaching her that she only gets pay when her head is straight forward. So what you're going to see next is when I transferred over to doing that part
So
of the
much
training,
calmer. I love that.
to help her understand that she's going to get lots of pay, but it has to be with her head forward. So that's what I'm doing here. If her head is forward, I say deet, which is the word that says you got the answer right, and I paid her. So we tried this, but there were still some things happening that made me feel a little nervous. Next week, I'll show you what I did next to help both of us feel safe.
Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, my donkey shows some of those same signs, you are not alone. Every burro is different, and learning to read them takes time and confidence. Now, that is exactly why I created the Training Wild Burros memberships. This is to help you understand what your donkey is really thinking and how to build trust without losing your patience. Now, I have different levels, depending on how much support that you want, from early access to videos, extra videos with all the different donkeys that I've worked with and gentled. And then you can also have one-on-one guidance. You can learn more or join through the link in the description.